Okay, in this lesson 11, we're going to explore uses of effects and graphic styles. You're going to be working with the appearance panel, learning how to edit and apply the different attributes. And we'll show you how to reorder the attributes, apply an effect, apply both a vector and a raster effect to a graphic style, and apply a style to a layer as well as scale, strokes, and effects. So anyways, you're going to want to open up the lesson 11 in your D2L, and you're going to get a missing fonts document that comes up. You can click on Franklin Gothic to sync and find fonts, and they come up with one that's similar, so just go ahead and hit done. And then we can go ahead and you can go ahead and save this as your own file name. And we'll get going here now on the appearance panel. The appearance panel, if you don't, stop that here. You can find in the drop-down window in the appearance panel. And you'll notice that it has some items here that discuss that right now I have a no selection, but if I select this, you'll notice that I get a number of different attributes that are actually given to this object. And so anyways, what we're going to do here is just kind of talk about this box here. So A is the selected object. And then these are the visibility icons for your particular rows here. And then you have add a new stroke down at the bottom, add a new fill, and then you have the appearance, add a new effects. And then you have clear the appearance, you can get rid of it after you've done it. And then you have delete selected item, and then or delete selected item is here, and this is duplicate selected item. And then of course, as in all panels, you have more options in the upper right hand drop down menu as well. And then also, just to cover this quickly, because we'll be doing this quite often, when you click on any one of these attributes, the orange words here, it will also come up with a panel for you to change the attributes of that particular one that you used. So the first thing we're going to do is we have the big part of the trumpet selected. So I want you to go to select and then object or same and then fill color. And you'll see now that it selects the entire trump. And you'll notice that the appearance panel doesn't really change because these shapes here have the same appearance properties. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the appearance panel and we're going to click on the black fill box and then click on the drop down arrow there to get the swatch panel. And what you want to do is you want to find the word trumpet, which is this kind of limey green in the fourth row there, and we're going to add that attribute to the trumpet, and then you can just click outside of the area. So you'll see that the fill color now has changed in the appearance panel. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on the 5-point row, and what we want to do is we're going to change weight to 0, and you can see now the strokes have been removed. And then we're going to click the word underlined stroke, and you can see that there's nothing here in this panel that's lit up, and basically it's because we do not have a stroke on this object at this time. So we would have to have a stroke listed in order for us to have options to use with that attribute. So we're going to click the disclosure panel and down by the fill, and we want to go to opacity. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the opacity to 100%. And then we can go ahead and click out of that. Okay, Now, we're going to click on the drop shadow row, and we are going to actually click the delete, and you'll see that the drop shadow has now disappeared from the trumpet over here. Now you can do two things. So for example, if that drop shadow came back up, I could also just turn the visibility icon off, but realize that that attribute is still there. It's just been turned off. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make sure that your trumpet is still all selected, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to group this object. And you'll see that in the panel now, under the appearance panel, it's listed as a group. You can click on the group and the contents, and you can see all the attributes that are there. And this is just a way of combining them, and so you have less mess on the attribute board. Okay, so you can have more than one stroke and fill applied to an element. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add another fill to an object using the appearance panel. So with the trumpet group still selected, I want you to click on the Add a New Fill button, which is down here. And my computer is moving a little slow, so just give it a second here. Okay, and okay, so we want to go, whoops, going to go back here to that trumpet green. Okay, now I'm going to go and add a new fill, and so you see the second fill right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click this until we find the option paper in the swatch panel, and click and then click out. Now the thing is you're not seeing any change on the trumpet here, and the reason for that is because of how it's arranged in the layers. And so this particular effect actually needs to be on top of the solid fill. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is I'm just going to take the arrows and we're going to move it, and then I'm going to take this row and move it up above the top fill, and now you see you've got that lime green paper fill. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the layers, and we're going to turn on the visibility column of the text and make sure that your text layer is active. And then I'm going to go to the text tool, and I'm going to double click on the word jazz and click OK, and now we have that selected. Okay, and then in the appearance panel you'll notice that there is no stroke and that the fill is black. Okay, and so anyways, we cannot add another stroke or fill to this text because we are in the on the type tool. So what I want you to do next is go and V key or the selection tool, and you'll notice now that the word type comes up at the top of the appearance panel. So with the type objects selected, which they are right now, I can add multiple fills and strokes. You see down here that they're now highlighted. And a new fill row and stroke row are added above the words character as well. So with the fill selected, oops, okay, so with the, I'm going to select that again, and then when I click on type, now if I go to the fill, you'll notice now that the stroke and fill option are available for me to change. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another fill layer. So go ahead and add another fill layer. And we're going to select that. And what I want you to do is we are going to go to the swatch paper. Okay. And then we can get out of the swatches there. And again, the paper swatch will not show up in the artwork because it's beneath the fill attribute. And that's why we'll need to reorder that attribute as well. So now, remember when you are changing the order of the appearance attribute rows, it will affect it and can affect greatly the look of your whole design. So you want to make sure that you're aware of where you're placing the stacking order rows. So anyways, we're going to click the disclosure triangle to the left again of the fill, and then we're going to drag the bottom fill to the top. And now we have that blue-green gradient showing up. And then we're going to click the disclosure triangle to the left of the fill attribute. And actually with the paper pattern fill. So let's go to there, paper pattern, and then I want you to go to opacity. And you'll see you got another options for that transparency effect. And we're going to choose multiply in the blend mode. And then choose select. Okay, I did something wrong here, so I need to show you how to do this. Now what we just did again was we moved the fill paper up above the black fill. I forgot to have you go into the fill color and you wanted to select jazz green. Okay, it shouldn't be black. And then once that is selected, you can go up to the paper fill and click on opacity and then do the multiply blending mode for that. And then you'll see the different fill color show up here. And so when you click the multiply mode and the opacity under the paper fill, you can see you've got kind of that texturized lettering in the word jazz right there. Okay, so go ahead and save what you have so far, and we're going to talk about using live effects in the next lesson.